Welcome back. In today's video, we are going to solve also a Linux box. The box name is Leakage. It's pretty easy box. It's fun box, but it's not that difficult. We only have to look for leaked credentials in the web server, and we're gonna then use the leaked credentials to gain also a leaked SSH private key. Once you get the SSH private key, you're going to log in with a user called Jonathan. Upon enumeration for privilege escalation, you will find that there's a binary. The binary is nano, has sudo bit set. We're going to harness the misconfiguration, and we're going to find out the root password because we can view because we can view the password file as a root. You can find the root password, and we're going to log in as root. So it's pretty easy box. Let's start and see what we can learn from this box. So basically, in my scanning reveals, we have two ports, 2280. First, we're going to enumerate the port 80, which is the first thing we enumerate most of the time. All right, so we type in the IP 172.31 1.4. 31. Oh, it's wrong. So here 4 instead of 4 we have 6. So we are presented with the GitLab page, and obviously we need to register in order to figure out what is in there. So we click on register, we type a name like my name, username, an email address, could be something, anything, right? So we type test at hotmail.com. The password is going to be something easy like test 1 2 3. Register. Oh, all right. So test 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So once we register, we are welcomed with the welcome screen here. We have the ability to create a project, group, and other stuff. Now, for the purpose of this challenge, we're going to jump right to the place where we're going to find the leaked credentials. So if you click on Explore Public Projects, nothing in here, Explore Projects. All right, so we have here some projects, right? Now the one, the one that contains the leaked credentials is this one, Jonathan CMS. If you click on that, and obviously, nope, not this one. Let me go back. First project, also not this one. Ruby on Rails. I think I forgot where the leaked credentials are. Let's enumerate more. Let's take our time. Activity, repository. So here in the commits, I guess. All right, let's go back to Explore Projects. Stop clicking, okay. So we go to CMS. Repository, so commits. Okay, so here we find some PHP files. Now the one that contains the credentials is the update config.php. If you click on that, you will see what appears to be SQL credentials to log into the SQL database. So basically we can see the user, and we can see the password. So we can use the credentials in many places other than logging in with the GitLab, right? So we can try to log in using SSH with the GitLab, one other stuff, right? This is called the password reuse. So basically, if you are encountered with such credential leak during your pen test, and it is something that I would not expect in a real scenario, But anyway, you can try, you would try the credentials in more than one place. So for the purpose of the challenge, we're going to grab the password. Then we're going to try that on the GitLab. So sign in, password. So we are successfully logged in as Jonathan, right? Now, upon further enumeration for the CMS, or if you click on security here, we can see what appears to be a private key, right? If you click on the private key, we will see the actual SSH private key. So what comes to our mind, first thing comes to our mind is to grab that private key here, copy it, and go back to our command line. I'm going to clear that. There is no use of nmap anymore. I'm going to go to desktop. Go back. All right. So here, now the next thing, we set the correct permissions on the IDRSA sudo chmod 600 IDRSA. Now, next thing, we try to log in to the SSH server with the private key we have just grabbed. So the correct command to that, I think I have it here. All right, so we click enter. As you can see, we have the password. We don't have the password of the private key, so we're gonna need to extract the hash of this password and then crack it with John the Ripper. So clear, and here I'm gonna use SSH to John. As you can see, I wanna convert the private key to a password hash. I'm gonna use hash 3. So now we have hash 3 here. What we're gonna do next, we're gonna crack this hash and extract the password, the clear text password with John the Ripper. The correct command to that is this one. So basically here, John, and I specified the classic word list, and here the hash file, which is hash 3 in this case. Now John has successfully cracked the password, which is Scopy. Now we're going to use that password to log in with the private key. So SSH-I ID RSA Jonathan at 172.31.1.6. Type yes and type Scopy. And that worked. Now we have successfully logged in as Jonathan thanks to the credentials leak found in the web server or the web page of this server, which is something far away from reality actually, unless this is one in million case, right? 1 in a million case, or 1 in 100,000 case, you would find a credential leak of a corporate environment. But anyway, this is practice. All right, so here we have the SSH successfully logged in. Now the next thing is to do privilege escalation. Now here for this challenge, we all the time, to save time on you guys, I always put the stuff that worked. So basically here, the first thing we do here, the privilege escalation vector is to find a binary that has a sudo bit set. So sudo find -perm-u equal s, and then we're gonna type -type f, and then we're gonna pipe the output to dev node. The password is scopy. Oh, I shouldn't have used sudo actually. Let me try the command without sudo. I just got used to use sudo in my local machine, so I use it in the remote host. Okay. Now let's go up. So the one that worked in this challenge is this one. Now we can try with every single binary, right? with GTF bins. We go to GTF bins and try to use any one of these with sudo, right? But this one, guys, this one stands out. Why? Because when you can run nano as root, since it has the sudo bit set, it means that we can view sensitive files like the password file or the shadow file, which means we can grab the hash of the root user, right? That's why we opted to use nano. Okay, now what we're going to do next, let's go back. So we have nano. Okay, so ls la bin nano. So as you can see, the owner of the binary is root, right? And it has the sudo bit set, which means if we run the regular user, Jonathan can run nano as root, which is the second critical security misconfiguration in this box, setting the sudo bit on a binary like nano. And we talked many times about giving the regular users, such as Jonathan or any other user, sudo access to binaries. Right? If you want to give a user like Jonathan the ability to run nano as sudo, actually, first we need to remove the sudo bit set from here, right? And then we can ask Jonathan to type the password whenever they try to run nano, since they are very trusted user and since they have the need to know or the need to use nano as part of their job role, right? So since if they are system administrator or if you are the owner of the machine or want to restrict access to the root user, you can let Jonathan run nano as sudo, right? But you will not set the sudo bit set on the binary, right? Or you would wreak havoc your corporate security. Okay, so now the next thing, now we're gonna try to use here the binary to view the sensitive files. So sudo bin nano etc password security. So here the password didn't work. So here we should be able to view the password file. Let me exit this again. So here if I type bin nano etc password. Okay, so here we have root diamond bin. All right, so but the password hash is not clear in the root user. So normally you would find the password hash here. So if we found the password hash of root, if it was there, we would have been able to use John the Ripper to crack the hash, but we don't have it. Let's try with shadow file. Maybe it's there. Bin nano etc shadow. Okay, so we have it. So here is the password or the hash for the root user. It starts from the $6, which means it is SHA 512, and it ends with 1. So we're gonna copy that. Okay, we're gonna switch back to the local machine. Okay. Now the next thing, guys, we're gonna paste that in a file like what is it? Let me sudo nano root hash. So here root. Okay. Now we're gonna save. Oh, what was this? Okay. Now the next thing we're gonna use hashcat to crack this. So here hash cat dash m, and here we're gonna specify root hash as the file. The word list will be user share word lists rock u.txt dash 0, and let's force the, okay, what was this? So here it's not 0, it is O. So it says no password hash is loaded, hash file on line 1, token length exception. Oh, I think we have done something wrong with the formula of the password. So let's go back, sudo nano root, find out here. So we have the root, and we almost forgot something here. Let me try, let me remove this. And let's hash count. We can also use John the Ripper to crack the hash. So if we examine the results from here, as you can see, Hashcat hasn't found the password. So we're going to need to adjust our options here. So let's look again. Let me remove these options. I don't want to use the dash O. So here, if I used dash A0, okay, so hashcat dash show. Okay, so the password has been cracked, the hash has been cracked, and the clear text password is chocolate. So now we can go back to the machine and type su root the password, and as you can see, we were able to log in as the root. I know the experienced penetration testers will see this as an absurd way of escalating your privileges, and I agree actually. This channel is for beginners, but actually don't look at the results, right? The result is we were able to root the machine, but look at the practice, right? So we jumped from, we used Hashcat, we used John the Ripper, we used a couple of password cracking tools. We used the RSA key. We modified a bit how it works. So look also at the mechanisms, right, of the challenge. Sometimes you gain the benefits or from doing the practice, not from gaining root access. That's the case with these kind of beginner machines. Now there is another way actually to gain root access, which is if you sue back to Jonathan. Okay, now another way is, since we can run nano as root, we can also log into the root user, log in with the root user to the SSH server. How we can do that? We can still use Jonathan's session. We can log in as Jonathan, right? And we will be able to end up with root. Why? Because if we copy the authorized key of Jonathan, right, so the authorized keys list of the root user, we're going to be able to end up with a root session. So let's see how this works. So if you click bin, if you type bin, bin nano, and here type Jonathan SSH authorized. Oh, it's not doing autocomplete. Keys, nothing. Let me try to pwd. So ls. Oh. All right, so if you see to SSH here, and we have the authorized keys, right? Now, bin nano authorized keys here. Let me copy that key here, the public key. I'm going to copy that. Still not allowing me to copy the S. Don't know why it's doing this. Okay. So click copy, and then let's go now. Let's type bin, right? Nano, and then we're going to go to the authorized keys file of the root user. So root.ssh authorized keys. It's not there. Can I paste? Oh. Let me try again. So here, I'm going to do the work first. Bin nano SSH. Oh, it's so you forgot the backslash. Okay. I don't know, my keyboard is missing there. Oh, I don't know. I canceled the. Okay, nano here. Root.ssh. I'm gonna copy here the key, right? So we're gonna click on save. Let's view the file again. Oh, we can't view it actually because we can't use cat, but we're gonna use nano again and make sure the key has been copied. All right. Now we're gonna try to log in as Jonathan and see if we end up with root, since we have copied the authorized key of Jonathan to the authorized keys list of the root user. So down there, I type SSH. Let's make sure the private key here. So the private key is not here. Let's go to home. Here's the private key, SSH-A ID RSA. Jonathan. 172. Okay, 31, 1.6. Copy. That was the passwords. Oh, so we are still Jonathan. So we made something wrong here. That's why it didn't work. Let's exit the session and try to log in not using Jonathan actually. I'm gonna try without specifying a user and see if this works. Connection closed. So let me end up this session down here, exit. Okay. And try, oh, open the Outlook. Okay. Type copy. So we got the connection closed. I think this is due to a reason that, oh, what I think I did something wrong. I think this is due to a reason that logins aren't allowed. So I'm not gonna dig into I'm not gonna dig more into that. It's sufficient that we were able to crack the root password. But I think if you go back, if you log in again with root and go to SSH configuration and allow root logins, I think you're going to be able to log in as root. All right, so that was it, and see you in the next video.